We are greater than the sum of our individual ambitions, and we remain more than a collection of red states and blue states. We are and forever will be the United States of America. And together, with your help and God's grace, we will continue our journey forward and remind the world just why it is that we live in the greatest nation on earth. Thank you, America. God bless you. God bless these United States.
Welcome to Bell News. I'm your host, Tiara Lacey, and this is our Bell News election special. We have interviews with Keisha Carter, a candidates forum with Gabrielle Ford, and a commentary with Alexis Orr. Keisha sat down with political science professor Dr. Robert Williams to get his take on the Obama victory.
I sat down with Dr. Williams, Bennett College professor and political theorist, and got his take on the election.
I think a lot depends on one's perspective on this, and I think that even Democrats were a little concerned about what had happened. He didn't get everything he had planned on doing. Immigration reform he attempted to do didn't quite work out. But I think in general, particularly if you're a Democrat or generally leaning Democrat, the stimulus I think helped in many respects, although again, because of perspective, you might have those, oh, it didn't work. So if one's a Republican leaning, they wouldn't be quite what they wanted. But Obama was much more in what we call the Keynesian style, that is you stimulate demand as opposed to simply giving tax cuts to the rich, because from Obama's perspective, or the Democrats, the idea would be, well, if maybe they could build a business, but there's no demand, so why start a third shift?
Moving forward under President Obama, do you feel like the future is bright? We're moving in a positive direction?
Personally, I would say yes, we are. There's going to be situations where I think the Republicans and the Democrats need to come together a bit more than they have in the past, because as I tell many of my students, I remember a time when there were moderate Republicans, or a lot of moderate Republicans around, whereas some of the Republicans are a little bit more of the Tea Party variety, a little bit more willing not to compromise and take no prisoners. They stand on their principles without getting given a little bit. I think that as long as we have a few Republicans willing to compromise, as long as then, of course, I think President Obama reach across the aisle, continue to do that, I think things will be good. A lot depends on what's happening in the world. I mean, Al Qaeda still said that they're going to, they're still, mad at what happened on May 1st, 2011. So obviously there's always that concern.
Dr. Williams also told me that there must be unity in Washington moving forward.
The key, though, would be on what principles or what grounds are. Is there going to be some grounds on which one can compromise? John Boehner, as a Speaker of the House, most likely will retain the speakership, has talked about seeking bipartisan support, but proof of the pudding is in the eating, so we'll see how that comes about over the next few months or year or so. The Senate, the Democrats are still in the minority in the House, but they gained a few extra seats, but they're still in the minority. The Democrats increased their lead in the Senate, so we still have a divided government, as it's called. So since bills have to come from both houses, worded the same way, I think there will be some potential for gridlock.
This is Keisha Carter, Bell News.
The Bennett community was also engaged in the election. The students had the opportunity to hear from 24 local candidates running for election. Candidates included Bennett's own Dr. Alma Adams, who won her race by a 4-1 margin to North Carolina House of Representatives. Bells also got involved by marching to the polls on Election Day. And here is Alexis with her perspective.
I marched with my sisters on November 6, 2012 to the polls to vote for Barack Obama, and it was completely life-changing. This was something my ancestors had fought for. Although President Obama was previously in office, this was my first time voting, and I felt as if I was making history. We started in the chapel being motivated and singing Bennett songs. Speakers came to walk with us, such as President Terry and the president of the NAACP. It was amazing seeing so many powerful people in one room heading towards a common goal. Bennett bells are voting bells, a phrase I constantly heard that morning as we prepared to start our march. The atmosphere was filled with a range of emotions. Bells walked hand in hand half a mile to the church, laughing, crying, singing, and praying together. As we walked, the police guided us and cleared off the streets so people knew that we were coming through. Alumni drove alongside us and honked until we reached the church. It personally was something I had never experienced before, and it gave me a whole new perspective on Bennett. It made me realize that the school is more than just women in one space. I loved being a part of this, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Love Song, Heart Attack, Dive In. Just a few songs that the handsome Trey Songz sang when he came to Bennett to talk about the importance of voting and to reiterate that Bennett bells are voting bells.
I once again want to stress the importance of our votes. Looking out at y'all, and like I said, the president believes in us, the president believes in you. When the president got into office, we were losing 800,000 jobs a month. For the last 31 months, there has been job growth, consecutive job growth because of our president. The president wants to make sure the middle class is taken care of by making sure that people like me pay a little more to make sure that, you know, it's balanced out. And that's truly something I believe in, and getting to the top and giving back. And that's a part of that. And the president believes in that. And once again, the president believes in you and us and all the beautiful women here at Bennett College. Bennett bells are voting bells. Make some noise. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all.
The town hall meeting was held Tuesday, October 30th in the chapel. Unfortunately, our cameras were not allowed, but we had the privilege to talk to a few bells who did attend the meeting.
I think it was informative for students, but for me personally, I didn't understand like what was going on based upon like the terminology that was given. I felt like it was like around, like it was just so complex.
Last week's town hall meeting wasn't bad. I do think it could have been handled a little better. And when I say that, I'm talking about as far as Dr. Esoteric and the way she went about answering some of the questions. I feel as though some of the issues that the students brought to her could have been better answered by someone else. And I don't think that she was equipped to answer some of the questions that she tried to tackle. So I would have liked to see Tanya Flamer speak more. I would have liked to hear from the Director of Public Safety. I just would have liked to hear from other people who are more well-versed on some of the topics and issues that were brought up. I do feel like some of the students who brought up their issues were antagonized, like the girl who said that she was at her car at 3 a.m. and then they turned the subject and somehow the issue became her being at her car at 3 a.m. And that wasn't the issue. If she didn't feel safe, I felt that somebody should address her issue instead of it kind of being swept under the rug.
Within like my last 3 years of being here, like the town halls are good, but I think some questions are voided, they don't want to be answered. And I think as students, like we have the right to know like what's going on with the college, but I think town hall meetings are so like sometimes answers get answered, or we're limited to what's really going on with the college, and we don't get enough detail that we could like give to our families.
Being that this is the first one that we've had this school year, that one wasn't as successful as I've known them to be in the past with Dr. Malvo, but I won't count it out as, you know, the rest of them not being successful, because I don't know what's to come. So I'm just going to remain optimistic, and hopefully the next one will be handled better, but this one I wasn't satisfied with. So.
Bennett bells are not only working hard in the classroom, but preparing to further their education in the future. There was a graduate and professional school information fair this afternoon in the Ida Gym. There were approximately 40 colleges and universities represented for bells to inquire about life beyond Bennett. The Center for Entrepreneurial Studies at Bennett College held an event with Dr. Randolph Pinkett, co-founder, chairman, and CEO of BCT Partners, to talk to Bennett bells about facing the steps of becoming an entrepreneur.
The Center of Entrepreneurial Studies here at Bennett is hosting a forum with former apprentice winner Dr. Randall Pinkett. I had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Clemens about the event.
The Center for Entrepreneurial Studies at Bennett College was started in 2009. It is an interdisciplinary program that seeks to help young women look at how to become entrepreneurs in the 21st century. This forum is an entrepreneur series, and so what we try to do is to bring the girls different kinds of experiences around entrepreneurship. And so we invited Dr. Randall Pickett, who was the 4th season winner of The Apprentice, and The Apprentice, is a very popular show with Donald Trump. It's exposure. I mean, you see lots of people on TV, you see lots of people do different things, but how many people do you see up close? Someone very much like you all when you are students on campus who started his own business on campus. So that's vitally important to really get somebody real, you can touch and you can feel and say, okay, I can do that too.
For Bell News, this is Gabrielle Ford.
Next week on campus, Bennett will be celebrating International Education Week, which will include international cuisines, 3 film screenings, and at ACES on Thursday, a presentation by a Haitian scholar. Now that the election is over, we got the Bennett Bells' take on their feelings during and after we revealed that President Barack Obama had been reelected for another term.
I'm really excited that Obama won the election. I think that it puts me and my family in a better situation than we were before. I don't have to worry about my mother's Social Security, especially since she's a teacher from Chicago. You know, they just had the big strike. I don't have to worry about my education in Bennett. I can still get my Pell Grants, my financial aid. And I think it motivates me. It allows me to know that the sky is the limit, that I can keep going. Obama is president. He's an African American, and I won't let anybody take that moment away from me.
How I feel about this election, I feel like it impacts me in a positive way. I feel like that I can accomplish almost anything in life. It's just a positive election, just seeing everybody out here trying to come together and do something that's going to benefit everyone's future.
Yeah, I mean, him being in for 2 terms is positive because when I was in the 9th grade, I really didn't care so much. But now since I'm a freshwoman and he's back again, I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's a good thing considering that Mitt Romney was going to take away financial aid for students, but also it's a bad thing because the economy is really, really bad. And I felt like maybe if Mitt Romney did get picked, the economy would be better, but as in like how people are living today, it was good that Obama did get reelected for it.
I was happy that Obama got reelected because I don't think he could do everything he wanted to do in the first 4 years. And I feel like he was cleaning up Bush's mess, which would take longer than 4 years. And I was kind of happy that Romney didn't win because, I don't know.
His first election gave me hope just for being, the first, I'm not going to say all the way black, but black or interracial president. And then just his positiveness, his sincere, his motivation to help us as Americans, and just the way he speaks, I could tell that he's, he really cares. He's not just up there for like publicity or just for people to like him. Like, he really speaks on America, and it gives me hope because that's what I stand for as a black student, as an American. I believe we should be out here to help each other, and it'll help me grow. And it gives me hope that I could, someday be, as big as he is.
From all of us at Bell News, I'm Tiara Lacey, and good night. And we'll close with Trey's song, Serenading the Bells.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, I'm about to... Let's see what else you can do. I got this other song called Heart Attack. I want to see if y'all can sing it though. I want to see if y'all can sing without me doing anything. I'm going to sing 2 though. How the first part of the song go? 1, 2, 3. Turn the lights on. Palmer. Y'all sound good.
We should something's so coming. I'm never been here before.
Say what?
We're still coming, even here it's inside these walls, taking each other's hearts, and we don't care 'cause we're so Bennett, sing! Ooh, man, it's killing me. Cause I never knew love would hurt this bad. Worst pain that I sing.
Obama.
Worst pain that I ever had.